obje and offer social media space and so as say this will be able afu ye pa na Ghana for be break ko apai ni nyina ne de di levy the doom so levy as say abas will be aka ho asema 1 Ghana cedi per liter as say NDC are buying and no other parliament to matima approve as say so koto fuola uto 1 liter bia 1 cedi edaso na bia enchirimu bebre aba enyumre ya John Dramani Mahama aye press conference enchirinche edinse bebre aba betini enchirimu bebre aba betu Ghana bia Denis Aboagye breze NDC for say matu futuro egu Ghana for any pa mo dia dan kwa da do mo di levy ye dimirikasa ebi levy ebi beten tax free ho sa no mo master plan pa ho na the question na ye bisa ne se aban no nim se eka bi da ho na so bitimi kan ye ntimi ntua na se pekwan ma bi generate sika e de tua anti no man maintain that levy no na ye tua no man fa nkotua ka no no ka levy mu na sa kofa di levy dum so levy se na majority leader kasa kra parliament no say just one city and to talk for liters I would na fa ko no tua 40 cities extra. It is the debia mo long journey kasa kese na busia enya asem ketwa na say o family space na say NDC for no 30 ade na Denis Aboagye say you know say mu nyina mo mekasa mu nyina mo no dendende levy ba mo kasa na NDC for nya atumfo yi mo amaye mo neutral media personalities amaye mo neutral ni nyina say obi amara mekabi amoma ye hu mo mekasa ni ye hu na efie nra na de ne ba na obi a yedin obi a pese obeka hwe ne wa dem nkrofo ba na ochiri man yo e ka kire Ghana for enamante bi se gibre ni nkuti ne sen bi a kire wadwen o comment section as
just 1 cedi obi aten boni penny aye se Ghana for abato omkoto no moto se niama ne ye yie o oman to se niama ne ye tra no munye ne se na musipe no se poli se we taxi driver and now we Uber boat yango driver obi uto gallon petrol gallon ba ku bia utu ya 4 cedi 50 pesos ma ban kwa aden we utu hun penin sem da ben obi se uto gallon ba ku bia utu ya 4 cedi 50 pesos e ma ban kwa aba enti mo nya kwan foforo bia mfa so anso so dia mo kasa mo beso so na mo nya bibi foforo bia nye aten menu mienu so nim so obi o ban we mu no ade ba ko impacted the lives of these people kase pa e fuel price unim sa obi ya to fuel price mo school fees kra honest so ya to fuel price mo e feru anom kra to mo fie dan kam otumi to fie dan kam bisa na o se ne ase ya to petrol wonte ye as a petrol near this nine. We know so one of the biggest factor, one of the things that impacts life in this country, fuel price. Nyamedom mobile mo na mo se mo ye ne binti dollar and what deny den akofem na cedi asore. And 3 days ago ye mo take petrol so by 8% or so meboa. Na mo take petrol is 8%, ade chi am san be to 8.5%. 3 days ago ya mo take petrol is 8%. And that 8% the reason was because of the exchange rate near there. After 3 days later, once I ended 8% above 2 petrol no so. See a buy. O come see now was 17 cities, or 16 cities, or 15 cities, and I see about 12 cities in Tifanesa. Obi, you to be fan as money and come buy. Say to be fan as money ya and come buy. Kroma, ye ni kroma na mo. Answer am befia be mu no na nkofo tua school fees 3,000 4,000 cedis MPP buy ye tua set kan nyina mo ade ne yanka se ne e levy ni niam mo complain no yes your mom 3,000 cedis for free ntomo fan him highest level of disrespect for anybody in the NDC to say ya teso about 12 cedis until you the one cedi kan wan ye hwe na bind that no check Ghana for 3,000 4,000 cedis say mamu tua school fees metua mamo no ade na sa buy no so ntumi amfa tax 2,000. I said because your school fees 3,000 more. Now me the tax 1,500 back. I come here. Why? What kind of logic is that? I need to mutiti me ko share no bi. Dey me yakra ne say, o mutiti me ko share Ghana foni ye ka o mo se mo kama no ntum. Na say ye ko e we mpi kra dey bobo o mo fa ye kra. Ye le say bia no mo o mo de pe ha makra dey abo etim. I say ya to ɔman no amomo ɛna yɛde yɛ nyinaa hyɛ nkwaso mu ahyɛ ɔmase na de no so ɔmo yɛ no ɔmo fo buo bia man yo no respect or recourse to the people of this country because obi senka if the government of the day this NDC government e wo buo bia magana fo a nka mo so yɛ na dwo na mo kɔ pass such a very a friend is a high impact tax. High impact, no consultations, no stakeholder engagement, nothing. Obi endo akokoda na unim say law bi wo parliament akoko pass here no one D levy.
Before see be pon no yet.
Now make now unim say law bi endra, now unim say law bi wo parliament fair D levy. Why? What happened to consultations? Were you not in this town when this same group of people in government e catch and say levy no ye more consultations e manunti ye original tour marketplace engagement near there e ma ye levy no at some point no ye rate so what kind of disrespect is that? It you see ato aba mam good way into no mo mia me na kuyan obi you see some fra by way scam a scam government na me fra by way settings and a packaging government ebiniye obi this government knew from day one say niama no mo kaka wo position e niama kese a e be dey so metu benye sky den aye so mo decide say taxes no mo so mbo be yi no e be den. So they always knew they were going to bring this one city thing. Let me tell you, Ubekaya, somewhere February, and almost started so we can add one city on petroleum for immigration. We can add one city. I'm sure you heard it. We can add one city on petroleum to do this. Obia sector bia fees or problem or CFO one city in Tufu also. So they already planned it. You know, my executing and the NDC for your junior and say few days here, early days here, I say Ghana for MP for Hungusu ye, you know. Your friend will be good war now. Obo my imagine say ayaka de bi on be within this period. No be me catch now market anywhere. 11 to 12 months from now. Any be who messa NDC buy a committee in their first 6 months. The damage they have done to this country. Because right now, I'm committee damage in the crowd because people are quite angry and a bit pained about the previous government. Nobody is even talking about it. And that is why you can have an NDC person tell us, we're going to phone complain. That is why. And it's no NDC to me and I say, oh, Ghana phone complain. Because they realize the people are still transiting. They are still going through that stage. Until you could a good word until they pay a bit with their but
social media or more appointees need be bring so Pagana for I've read posts from Eduje Tamaklo, Shamima Muslim, our money now so more Pagana for bear with them.
Nipa bako pe in our tro adia opacho. That was Eduje Shamima no pacho.
So no so say one city no quite ready so bit here one city to support
Gamebe Kebiba Mejai. Or no top petro 78 million in the corner office anybody top petro man. Inti I don't know or cassette so okay auto petrol. I buy the top petrol man. What kind of disrespect is that? I don't know move for buo my hands I don't know move for buo my hands most of them are not way castle or castle filling station or
fuel
or top or bugum. The amount 78 million fuel can please you should spare us. She should spare us that. And for her to even trivialize the amount of one city and make it look like your mom of 5 city into your gym 1 city and yes, what kind of disrespect is that?
Your thought.
You know, I've never been attentive like this in my life in a very long time.
This one you'll be a good student.
Because I was shaken last night when I heard that behind the backs of Ghanaian people under the cover of darkness, when all of us were going to have our dinner, that was when we saw flyers that this wicked government has imposed a whooping, 1 Ghana cedi, on every liter of fuel that we buy. For proper context for the Ghanaian people, we understand fuel purchase in gallons, so I prefer to use the gallons.
Right.
The fact of the matter is that last night, this wicked, insensitive government imposed about 4 cedis to 4 cedi 50 pesos, 4 cedi 50 pesos on every gallon,
400% increase
on every gallon of fuel that we buy. That is fact. You see, we find ourselves in a situation where we're saddled and we simply have on our hands, or we have a clueless, everlasting, incompetent bunch of arrogant braggarts who have just come themselves into power. I told you here the last time, and he's had 17 minutes of unhindered preaching. And I pray he gives me that. So please take note of the time. We prefer to stay on the NDC and the fiduciary relationship they've built with the Ghanaian people. I will not even go into their history. We have a finance minister who talks so much, and at his vetting was asked, all these things you are saying, you are surely going to have revenue shortfalls. And there are issues in this country that need to be dealt with. How are you going to be able to raise revenue to deal with these things and make sure that the Ghanaian people don't suffer for it? And doomsday was one of the things that were brought up. This is his response. And I'll simply quote what he said. He said that we don't need more taxes to raise revenue. That's the finance minister.
Why are you quoting this one?
Enjoy Online.
Right.
January 13th, 2025. And I watched it. The video is also here. I can give it to you to play. It was at his vetting. Then he goes on to give us a long lecture about the number of years of experience he's had in public affairs, in the economy of this country, and how he believes that we don't need more taxes to be able to raise revenue, and that he and his government were going to raise the needed revenue to do all the things they promised. I remember his vetting. His vetting was one of the vettings that I sat down to really, consume. And this man really gave us a very long lecture and told us that he doesn't think, there is no way he was going to even go into the issue of taxes. And that he rather thinks that we should remove all the taxes he called nuisance taxes. And that even if all those taxes are removed, and I remember correctly, that the minority asked him that digital venture is the future. And e-levy is only the base, starting to try and ensure that when we get to the future, we'll be ready. And so if you remove this e-levy and all of its revenue gap that you're going to have, how are you going to deal with it? He said, no, forget it. I remember again correctly that Afenyo Markins put it to him that from what you have done, you are surely going to introduce new taxes. He said, no, you and your party were incompetent. And that is why you had those taxes. And we would run this economy, run this country, fulfill all our promises without introducing any new tax. I am hurt this morning. I am pained. I am really, really pained. I am sad. There is no greatest offense in this world than betrayal of trust. None in this world, no sin in this world beats betrayal of trust. That people entrust their lives and their future in your care, believing that you will live at least up to your own words. Forget eventualities. Forget things that will come along the line. But what you told them. Then we wake up 5 months into your tenure. You come and tell us that you have brought the burden of Ghanaians down. That is what he's saying. That he has brought the burden of Ghanaians down. And so we should, in the words of the majority leader, Mahama Yariga, Honorable, we should accept just 1 cedi. He calls it 1 cedi per. 1 cedi per. That's what he calls it. That's what he says we should give them. To fix a situation that was not there until they came. To fix a situation that was not there until they came to office. 8 years of the MPP in government. This country had stable power for 8 years, irrespective of what the challenges could be at the time. Irrespective of what the situation was, there was power. 8 years. We had crisis for 8 weeks. What burden has been reduced, Nana? What burden? Today, we buy cement, a bag of cement that used to sell between 85 cedis to 90 cedis. We buy it for 130 cedis. That is the burden they have reduced. Today, tomatoes that was selling for 2 for 5 cedis is selling for 1 for 10 cedis. That is the burden they have reduced. And it tells us that they reduced burden. Burden has gone down. And so everybody is doing well in this country. All your viewers watching, this country is doing fantastically well. When you and I know that in this country, it is not the dollar to cedi exchange rate that impacts the things we buy on our market. You and I know. It is the fuel pricing. Why are you doing this to us? Why? When I call this government a scam government, a settings and packaging government, this is what I mean. They knew from the get-go that the things they were doing were just facade to let the Ghanaian people feel that they have brought some miracles into this country and that they are removing taxes and still they'll be able to do the things. They knew. They knew that in the month of May, getting into June, they were going to introduce taxes to make up for the shortfalls. Otherwise, what sense is there for you to come and tell us that levy, which is 1%, so if you buy anything at 100 cedis by choice, if you decide to use electronic transfer by choice, you pay how much? 1 cedi.
1 cedi.
You tell us that it is a burden, it's a nuisance tax. Remember, not every Ghanaian needs to use electronic transaction.
Yeah.
You have to choose. You can decide to work and go, you don't pay. You call it a nuisance. And then you say, you are removing it, we should praise you. Then you remove a tax that was not even in force. Emission tax that was not even in force. You say, we should clap for you. Then, what is the other tax they remove? Betting tax. That is not even being utilized or consumed by even 1% of the population. How many Ghanaians in this country watching you, who queued to vote for you, actually engage in betting, let alone be affected or impacted by betting tax? We should clap for you. Then 2 months down the line, 2 months down the line after asking us to clap for you for removing taxes that do not have so much impact on us, especially betting tax and emission tax, you come and introduce 4 cedis per gallon of fuel that we buy, and you tell us it's just 4 cedis. And that it doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. Did emission tax matter? Was it a big deal? Did you ever pay emission tax? Did he ever pay betting tax in his life? But he was making noise and screaming over it. Why do you betray the trust of people in this manner? Why? Why do you betray the trust of people in this manner? Then he tells us, oh no, it's 3.7 billion that we have to, debt that we have to pay. And this is debt saddled on us by the MPP government. You left 2.5 billion debt in the energy sector. 2.5 billion debt. That is how much you left in the energy sector.
And you increase it.
8 years. We sat with a 2.5 billion debt and still kept power on. Without increasing any taxes on the Ghanaian people to buy fuel for the energy sector. Why do you do this to the people? Then you come and tell us that, they should tell us for 8 years they didn't do any investment in the energy sector. They didn't do anything capacity. Absolute falsehood.
Did you?
In the year 2017, we added 603 megawatts of power. Capacity installed. AXA 188, Asogli 180, Car Powership 235. In 2018, we installed 490, AXA Phase 2 110, Sen Power 360, Me Energy 20. In 2019, we installed TT2PP 7, Amandi 203, Jensa 29. In 2020, Early Power installed 144, We Solar was introduced 10, VRA Solar 7.5, and then another one, Chachadru Hydro. That gave us 161 in 2020. In 2021, Damine Jensa, that gave us 28. Blue Solar added 41. VRA Solar added 10. That was 79. In 2023, VRA Solar Kalio Phase 2 added 15. B Power Floating added 4. That was 19 in 2023. And then in 2024, Early Power added 56. So you see, if you come and sit on TV and
You won't correct him.
you make these plays, you had 17 minutes of uninterrupted. You can make your correction when you get a chance. And then you make such, falsehood, complete falsehood.
Yeah.
It's sad. Not only is it sad, it is painful and hurtful to the people who trusted you and your government. That is not all. Beyond the energy, the investment we did in ensuring that these installed capacity were added, this government, MPP government, made a lot of investment in the distribution. And the last time I was here, I listed all of them here on this same show. And I don't want to belabor the point. Several of